Hello, welcome back to my channel. How are we on the last week of June? How? I'm not ready for July. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And also we're going back downhill again, aren't we? The nights are drawing in. I know it's a bit early to be saying that, but it's happening. I just can't believe how quickly time's going at the moment. I just can't keep up. I also feel so heavy and like I've got so much weight on me at the moment. I'm drained. I am constantly consumed by what to do with Sienna. I sounded so dramatic then, didn't I? Because we're kind of in that situation again where we're not really moving forward and I need to decide what I'm going to do. And I think once I've decided and I stick with the decision, then I think I will feel so much lighter. But at the moment, I just keep going round in circles. Like I say, it's just consuming me constantly. And I feel like I can't focus on anything else because all I think about is what am I going to do with her? So last week, in my last vlog, I mentioned that I thought I was worrying unnecessarily. But actually, I wasn't because something was brewing with Sienna. So it went on for about, I don't know, a week, 10 days maybe, where her back end just wasn't working right. Like it was nearly like she had locking stifles. It was very odd. The vet couldn't work it out either. In the end, we came down to the conclusion she had done something, probably in the field, and had like just completely jammed up her back end. Because there were like times when she'd find it really hard even just to turn into the stable, or if you asked her to step back in the stable, she couldn't move her back end properly. But yet she was still trotting and cantering across the field. Actually, I've got a clip like this.
Whoa.
She looks stunning, doesn't she? She looks so beautiful. I was watching her that day like, oh, you look gorgeous. But she was still like happily trotting around like that. It was all very bizarre. Thankfully, she had a course of Bute, and after that, she seems okay. Touch wood. It seems to have got better. So I don't know what that was, but we're just going to ignore it and not worry about it. But she's still lame. This has been going on for several weeks now, so this is nothing new. And like I say, we've kind of hit that point where we're like, what do we do now? And this is where I can't decide what to do. And I change my mind probably 5-10 times a day. I'm not joking when I say that. And it's the only thing I think about. Do I send her for surgery? The vet is still saying, she blocked out to suspensories, even though the scans were very clean. It's possible that she has done something to her suspensories, and if you take the little nerve out, you're taking away that bit of pain, and we might get a horse that wants to do stuff again. And it might also then fix all the other issues we have with her. And I wouldn't lie if I didn't say I wasn't half tempted because of the thought of being able to ride Sienna more and actually progress and do things and jump again, and all that makes me very excited. But none of it is a definite, is it? You could put her through the surgery and she's worse off. You could put her through the surgery and it just doesn't improve. It could improve. You've got to put her through a rehab. That means her being back on box rest, which she will absolutely hate. It's a surgery. It's a big deal. So I'm like all over the place whether I think that's the right idea or not. I think my biggest concern is we do it and it turns out that the suspensories weren't really the issue and maybe the SIs were or something like that. We could just turn her away. I mean, I'd never turn her away fully. That girl can't afford to be on grass for too long every single day. So, I mean, if I turned her out 24/7, she'd be a hippo. Also, she likes coming in. She loves her stable. I think she'd be really sad if I suddenly dropped her off in a field and was like, I'll check on you, once or twice a day. She'd hate that. So we could just give her a few years off, see if anything improves, anything heals. It might not. We could put her in foal, which I've mentioned before. I know lots of you are going to be going, whoa, don't even think about it. Because, ideally you wouldn't breed from a horse that's had issues. But I've spoken to my vet a lot about this. I've always wanted to breed. I purposely brought a mare this time so that if anything did go wrong, I had that option. And I would love to put her to a pony stallion. I'd like to breed something for me for the future. So, 15 to 16 hand type. If it was smaller, I wouldn't mind either. Something just to, play around with. I'm hoping if I introduced a bit of pony blood, you know, maybe that would help with longevity, who knows. But breeding's not an easy thing. It's flipping expensive. It's a money pit, let's be honest. You can keep pouring money in trying to get your mare in foal. Then it's quite a long wait till you have something that you can break in. That doesn't worry me so much, because I would like the idea of doing some like showing with a yearling or a 2-year-old or something like that. Like, I'd like to do some in-hand showing to help prepare them for shows in the future when they're broken in. So I really love the idea of that, but it's a big deal putting her into foal and her having to give birth and all that, and so much can go wrong. So much can go right, but so much can go wrong, and that scares me. I also worry about when it comes to weaning, what would we do? Because we only have the one field, so we don't have enough room here to keep foal and Sienna when it comes to weaning. I don't think I really trust anyone anymore to look after my horses, so I don't really want to send either of them off, but I wouldn't have a choice, because personally I feel like they would need to be separated for a few months. They may be able to come back together later on in life, but not, you know, initially when you do the weaning. So then I'm like, well, how am I gonna navigate that issue? And like, if I send Sienna off, then it would mean I couldn't start bringing her back into work to see how she, you know, if she was any better. But likewise, if I send the foal off, which I would want to hang out with other foals, I would want it to be a foal. But then, you know, do I trust someone else? Also, when it comes to wanting to like maybe do a bit of showing, then I'd need it back at home. You know, when I'm like, I can't figure that bit out in my head, how I could make this work, you know, also without spending too much money. And so then I just like hit another roadblock, don't you? And you think, okay, back to square one again, don't know what to do. And that's where I'm at. And that's why I'm so tired and so sort of fed up of thinking about it, to be honest. I'm excited about the thought of having, you know, doing the operation and maybe having a horse I can ride again. But then I'm equally scared of all the issues that might come with it. I'm really excited at the idea of putting her in foal. I like her conformation. Like I said, you know, she's got such a great temperament and character, and I think she's produced a lovely foal. She's got great breeding. Her siblings are all doing very well. It'd be really exciting. But then I'm worried about what we do further down the line and putting Sienna through it, and yeah, I'm gonna stop repeating myself. That's where I'm at the moment. I quite like someone to just make the decision for me, and then I can forget about it for a bit, because like I say, it's the thing I just seem to think about all the blinking time. And I feel like we're on a bit of a tight time schedule here, because if we were to put her in foal, we need to do it in the next few weeks, literally. If we're going to do the operation, we need to literally do it in the next month. I haven't even seen whether the insurance will pay for it yet, so that's where I'm at. Anyway, I'm going to put this clip in of Mr. Cooper and I having a jump last week, which was very much needed, because I was feeling a bit flat, because obviously Sienna wasn't quite right. And yeah, he's such a legend. What would I do without him? Just feel like I'll jump on and have a bit of a jump, and him still be so cool at 24 and so on. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry it's literally just been straight on chat to the camera, but it's too windy outside to film, and I just thought trying to get it off my own chest. Therapy. You guys are therapy for me. So yeah, I will see you again next week. Hopefully I'll have made some decisions by then, and I won't feel quite so heavy with constant thinking of what the hell am I going to do with Sienna.